We just had the best May for the SPY overall and a lot to talk about. Some tariff news, things that happened over the weekend, and things to expect for next week. Without further ado, man, let's get started with this video. Smash that sub button. I'm just asking right now, man, let's get to 500 subs. We are so close. Let's get started. So for the week overall, man, it honestly looked very, very good. We had a lot of things moving the market, but honestly, heat map looks phenomenal overall. We got Nvidia up over the week, Apple, literally every stock is up. We got some great news, man. And honestly, let's hope this week looks the same. It is a new month, so new month, man, new movement. We did get Elon Musk come back to Tesla finally, man, like fully, and this time it was confirmed. I guess he got punched in the face on the way out, man. Bitcoin, man, we see a little bit of a rally with Bitcoin. Just recently, honestly, we were breaking down a decent amount. And low key, man, some levels to watch for Bitcoin. I really want to see if it breaks past the 106 level. And if we can break above that, man, honestly, we have a big gap to fill upwards to make people more confident with Bitcoin. But after that, look at the 109 and then maybe some new highs, maybe past that 112 level. But honestly, let's just see how Bitcoin moves. A lot of people are pumping up Bitcoin, man. People are kind of saying that's a safe haven, but honestly, Bitcoin moves both ways. Literally, it honestly moves at weird times. For example, people are comparing it with gold, and we know gold, which is recently at its all-time highs. And people kind of move out of tech and go into gold. And honestly, you can see the same thing. People move out of tech and you see Bitcoin pumping, but then at the same time, sometimes tech can pump and then Bitcoin can pump. So it's honestly very confusing, but really have your eyes on Bitcoin for this week. And also, if you guys don't want to risk too much money, I do recommend getting into IBIT and getting into some option plays. I personally have some weeklies and a monthly call for IBIT overall. And honestly, it's already up a decent amount and we got it at the Bitcoin lows. So I'm kind of pumped up for it, but you guys can look at IBIT if you guys don't want to risk too much money. But next stock is going to be MSTR, which is around I think 2,000, no, 1,000 per contract for June 6th. June 13th is 1,500. And the next stock is going to be Coinbase. But honestly, man, for like crypto plays, I do recommend having your expiration out a little bit further than a normal stock, just because honestly, man, Bitcoin is unpredictable, but it can also move with news too. But before we get into any other stocks, man, let's talk about news overall and get you guys updated with what happened this week. Just for people that want to go to the next level, I made an option course video teaching you guys everything you guys need to know about options and stocks in general. Check it out if you guys want. Okay, so over the weekend, man, we do have Trump's tariff roller coaster. The big story is Trump basically bringing back bad trade tensions. After a brief pause, he's back at it with China, accusing them of violating trade deals. And there's a talk of tariff staying in place or escalating. This has market jitteries, with a court ruling allowing Trump's tariffs to stand for now. Pending further legal review by June 9th. Expect volatility as investors digest this, because honestly, if we go back and we go to the overall SPY, we did have a decent push upwards. But then as Trump and the White House started coming out with, we're going to win this case, we're going to take it to the, bigger courts, it did start bringing a sell-off into play. So keep that in mind overall. But we did have a little bit of a pump and dump situation with this news coming out. And honestly, man, we got way more like market volatility with the new trade tensions that we have. So Nvidia's AI hype. So Nvidia's earnings last week were a big deal, and the AI theme is still pushing markets. Their stock jumped after hours with the AI updates expected. Tech stocks could see more action. Investors are betting big on AI-driven growth, which lifted indices late last week. With that being said, man, AI hype is still in the play, and especially Nvidia getting into vehicles, autonomous vehicles, and robots coming out even more, getting more news on robots. And honestly, robots are going to be big in the future. So stocks like Tesla, Google, and stuff like that can bounce because of that. And we are getting more news on autonomous driving overall. So keep that in mind. So some retail struggles. So Gap took a hit after warning about tariff impacts on 2025 profits, and Target's sale drop earlier this month is still weighing on consumer spending fears. This could signal softer retail performance if tariffs bite harder. So a lot of companies, especially like Walmart and stuff like that, is going to be increasing prices because of tariffs. And we're just seeing a lot more bad sides of tariffs overall. People are, letting off workers, then prices are getting higher. And basically, the average consumer is not spending as much money as they are because they're preparing for the tariffs to come out. So keep that in mind overall for the retail sector. So back to big dog, Bitcoin, man. Bitcoin and crypto markets. Trump's media plan to put Bitcoin on his balance sheet with 759 million in cash has crypto related stocks buzzing. Keep an eye on the crypto sentiment as it's been a market mover. So like I said before, man, stocks like MSTR, Coinbase, and we can even look at GameStop because GameStop recently bought their first bit of Bitcoin, man. And honestly, we did have a sell off literally right after that news, a little bit of a pump and dump, and then just started dumping even more overall with GameStop. But honestly, people are saying that it moved downwards because nobody really knows what the price was of Bitcoin of when they bought it, and Bitcoin was selling off right after this news. So honestly, I want to see when Bitcoin gets up to all-time highs, is GameStop going to be coming back up to this $37 level, or are we going to just honestly just keep on moving, sideways and or move down or up after Bitcoin hits higher levels? So I kind of want to see how GameStop moves, because if it starts moving with crypto, I might trade some more GameStop overall in the short term. So let's get to some events and stuff like that happening, man. We do got some speeches today, but it already happened, so there's no point in really announcing it. Okay, so Monday, man, mainly you got Fed Jerome speaking and the S&P PMI coming out. A hawkish Jerome could spook markets, so keep that in mind overall. For Tuesday, man, we got the JOLTS job opening and factory orders. Strong labor data might ease recession fears, but could also keep Fed's rates steady. And on Wednesday, man, we got ADP employment and ISM services PMI. These will set a tone for Friday's big non-farm payrolls, so keep that in mind. Thursday, we got jobless claims and trade balances. Claims hit in highs last week, signaling a slowing labor market, which could weigh on stocks heavily. And then Friday, man, non-farm payrolls is going to be big, hourly earnings, and some payrolls coming out. A weak NFP can spark sell-offs, while strong numbers might boost confidence. So keep that in mind. So what to expect overall, man, the market could swing based on tariff headlines and economic data. If labor data disappoints or trade tensions flare, we might see a pullback, but AI optimism and consumer spending resilience could push indices higher. Sectors to watch tech, especially AI related like Nvidia and Tesla, could outperform if earnings impress. Retail and energy might lag if tariff fears or oil output decisions weigh. Gold could shine if trade talks tank or stocks correct. Key levels, the S&P 500's near 6,400, but it's down 18.9% from February due to high tariff chaos. A break above 6,400 could signal a rally. Below 5,900, bears might take control. So keep that in mind. Keep cash ready for dips, man. And let's talk about some supports and resistance. The first one, guys, is SPY overall, man. And honestly, kind of just been moving sideways after that big sell-off. So honestly, some key levels to watch with the SPY. I'm really interested in that 590 level. If we can break above that, look at 591.5, 593, and all the way up to that 595 level. Past that, look at the highs of 589.29 to 589.50. After that, man, look at the 598.29. And then above that, look at 598.5. If we can break above this, man, we can maybe even break above that 600 finally. We've been close, but haven't really hit it. But to the downside, man, look, if we don't break above that 590, look at that 587.5, 585, 583.5, and all the way down to that 580 level for the SPY. Apple, man, we did have a decent sell-off. Tariffs are hitting Apple a decent amount. But to the upside, man, look at that 202, 203.5, and then all the way up to that 205 to that 210 level. To the downside, watch 200 is going to be a key level. If we break below that, we might get lower, like 199.5, 198, and then all the way down to that 195 level. And then if we start selling off even more, maybe even that 190 level for Apple. For Nvidia, man, honestly, we have been selling off, but this like a make or break moment, right? We could either fill some gaps downwards all the way down to, like the 131, all the way down to like the 130, maybe even high 120s. And then we can either go above, maybe even get back up to that 140 level, but some levels to watch in the meantime. Look at the 135, 136.5, 137.5, and that 140 level. To the downside, look at 134.5, 133, 132, 131.5. Yeah, it's some minimal levels, but Honestly, if we these are just levels that we can reverse off of and or maybe even hold above. And then that 130 level for NVIDIA. Next one is going to be Palantir because we did get higher government spending, basically getting more money. But honestly, we can either break up even higher, look at that 135 to that 140, and or we start selling off, fill some gaps downwards. And the gap all the way down is going to be around that 128 to that 125 level. So keep Palantir on watch. With Elon coming back, he's kind of a meme right now, but watch Tesla maybe move back up. This is another make or break because we can either move upwards and or move downwards even more. So honestly, with Tesla, just have your patience. Wait for it to either break upwards and or break downwards, and then we could talk about some levels. But we're gonna save that one for Monday's video. Thanks for watching the video. Smash the like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and please get us up to 500 subs. Peace out, guys.